Hey guys, Catilin back with a YouTube video. Welcome back. Welcome if you're new. And today I'm going to be doing a movie review on The Rachel. So this movie came out in 2017, but I just really liked it. So I'm like, I'm going to do a movie review on it. So as I was saying, like, it doesn't have to be like a new movie that came out. It can come out in 2017. I'll still review it. So if there's any movies you want me to review, put them down in the comments. Also, I feel like I should be saying this, like and subscribe if you want to see more. But this will be containing spoilers. If you have not seen The Rachels, social media is all right here. And let's just get started. So first off, I just want to say that this movie is on Tubi. I think Tubi is only in the US, but it is an app where you can stream movies for free, but you have to have ads, which I think it is pretty. I feel like the amount of ads you get for like the movie is worth it, in my opinion. It sounds like yeah. But yeah, I just want to put that out there. But yeah, so The Rachels was released in January 15th, 2017. So it is fairly old. It stars Madison Iseman, which she is in the Jumanji movies, like Welcome to the Jungle and The Next Level. That's where I found her. She was also from Annabelle Comes Home, and she is in I Know What You Did Last Summer series. I like a lot of the movies that she is in, and this is like, Rachel's looked good, but like the main reason why I watched the movie is because she is in it. And then we have Carver, who played, so Madison Iseman plays Rachel Nelson, and then Carver plays Rachel Richards. And she was from Itonia, Paper Towns, and The Matchmaker's Playbook. I have not seen those, but she did look familiar, so yeah. But I'm going to say the plot, and yeah. So it's about a popular teen dies, her best friend, in the glow of the social media attention, while their rivals seek to avenge the past and uncover the truth behind the mysterious death. So this just starts out with them at like a party and stuff, and then it's like starts out with like Rachel Richards, and she talks to Rachel Nelson, and clearly there's like a fight between them. And then it shows like this neighbor or whatever, and it yells of Rachel Nelson, like yelling Rachel, and then her like falling off the balcony, and then it like shows like her like toenail polish, and then it goes to a week earlier, and it shows them. So these are like both like Rachel's, and they're both very like popular and pretty and stuff. And there was also another girl named Rachel, but apparently like it was like, I'm going to say they're like either juniors or seniors, but I think in like freshman year, the one Rachel Richards, who is kind of like the bully, I guess, was like, you can't be Rachel anymore, so she like changed her name to Roxy, just to let them know. But like Rachel ends up becoming like more popular. I'm going to start calling them by like their last names. So Nelson ends up becoming like more popular than Richards. Like she like gets a boyfriend, like more people like her, like she like still like track, and the only reason like why Rachel did it was because she wanted to be in the yearbook for everything. But then Nelson actually was good at it, so she was supposed to like go to like the championships. So like they were getting like really rich. Nelson was getting very like popular and stuff, and of course Richards was very jealous of her, as you can tell, into like social media and everything. It has like chapters, which I think is like really cool. Like the first chapter is called Nelson, so it's kind of like everything that happens with like Rachel Nelson. And then second chapter is gonna be like Richards, which is like Rachel Richards and like everything she does, like. And then next one will be like Roxy. So I think so, like chapters were really cool how they did that. And then it doesn't really show like how she died yet. It's just very like so she ends up dying. Well, okay, so Rachel Nelson ends up getting a boyfriend who's like super nice and sweet, and of course Richard tries to take him, and Richard's like, no, I like Nelson, like I don't want you. And then Nelson dies, and then of course Richard is like thriving in the glory and like making herself like really popular, making herself seem like a really sad friend. So she wears black, and then like she has to get paparazzi around, and then she ends up she's like a news reporter on like what happened, and she ends up saying that the girl like committed suicide, so like she got one in for that. And we all know she didn't, and like she like admitted that she didn't. She just knew that like that's how you would get more people involved, and that's how she can become more famous. So then of course Roxy and the other guy, which I don't remember his name, I'm gonna say Brad, which is probably completely wrong, but like this isn't how you're supposed to act when your best friend dies. And of course like Richards is acting is like, so Nelson ended up becoming like, there's like a snowball thing, and she ends up getting like nominated for it, and not Richards. So of course like Richards tries to take Nelson's place, tries to take her place in the track field, tries to make like a whole page dedicated to Nelson, but she wanted like the whole page to be like with her and Richards. And then I started like noticing like Roxy, and I'm gonna call him Brad, started noticing that she was like kind of like taking her life or whatever. And they're like, this isn't right. So like they kind of took it back and made everything about Nelson and like not about Richards, which I thought that was like really interesting. But then you could tell that Roxy was like thriving off of like making Richards upset, and so you could tell like there's like some very jealousy there, and you can tell like she wasn't really doing it for like the right reasons and everything. And then so we cut to it, and then it's like this is near the end, and Richards is like, Roxy, like, I'm sorry, like, do you want to be part of the Rachels? And it's like trying to get like, cause like the Nelson and Richards have like this like kind of like more announcements they do, and she's like, Roxy, will you help me do it? And she basically kind of like traps Roxy in there, and like starts yelling at her, and like Richards thinks that Roxy's, oh my gosh, so Roxy's like, okay, that Richards is gonna confess to killing her, so she turned the mic on, and then Richards like knew, so she literally put into the mic, I killed Rachel Nelson. Well, you're thinking, why would someone do that? Because, so we're gonna just pause right there. It goes back to the night, and what happens is Richards never actually pushed her. She just fell. And then what happened is she was holding on, and she was like yelling like, Rachel, Rachel, help me, and Richard wouldn't help her. So she walked away, but like Roxy was also there kind of spying, and Roxy was about to help her, because she was yelling Rachel. She was like, oh, I'm Rachel. But then what happened is that she held Roxy, so she just let her fall and everything. And also before that, they're like kind of talking. And what you think is like, oh, Nelson's really nice. She's like nice to Roxy. It's Richards who's really rude. But then like Richards makes a thing about Roxy. She's like, she was never Rachel. That's what Nelson says. And everything. So we felt like, okay, like Nelson isn't the nice girl that she used to be, or that we thought she was. So then we're thinking, why the heck would Richard admit to killing her friend when she never actually did? And Richard basically says, I don't really care what kind of fame I get, I just want fame. So of course she gets like, ends up becoming like, she gets taken away and everything. And then it's like these things like it had like everyone like mad at her, but like it had like her idea like what was happening, and it felt like she was like getting like taken by like paparazzi and everything. So I thought that was weird. Like the girl was like really like, she didn't care that she was going to jail and that people all hated her. She just cared that she got attention. And then Roxy was like, oh, I'm the only Rachel left. So then Brad comes in and was like, Roxy, are you okay? Roxy, are you okay? And she's like, call me Rachel. So like it made you seem like Roxy was like this helpless victim, but then she became like really obsessed with it. So it felt like none of them were really all that good, you know? So I thought it was a really good movie. I honestly would watch it again. So yeah, I do recommend it. I give it a 4 out of 5 stars, and 8.5 out of 10, and it is on Tubi as far as I know. I probably should have checked before I made this video. But it is a really, really good movie that I definitely recommend you watch. If you haven't been on Tubi, I recommend you watch movies on Tubi, because there are some really, really good movies on Tubi. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the way that I'm trying to find like a way to talk about my reviews without them being like too boring, without adding like uninteresting stuff. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys next week.